A very wonderful morning to one and all present here. Myself Zainab Kagdi from Atmiya Green School, Jadeshwar Bharuch. We are back with English subject for class ninth. And today we are going to study a wonderful lesson that is as beautiful as you all. So it will give you lots of inspiration as it is a supplementary reading. So we'll read each paragraph carefully and understand its meaning. So today we are going to start from the moments. Okay, from the moments we are having lesson number uh, lesson number 7, the last leaf. So let us start. The last leaf. Now, we all know what is a leaf, correct? uh, Here in these lesson you'll study how the willpower of a person can save the life. Okay, you are not dead. You are not dead just because you can't breathe. You are dead because you are not able to live in a way that you want to. Okay, if you're having no dream to live, you have no willpower to live, that means you're already dead. Correct. So this story will dictate you how the hope of a person, how a hope of living can save the life of a person. So here let us not waste much of our time, and we'll start with our lesson, the last leaf. It is autumn. The wind is blowing hard and it is raining heavily. All the leaves on an ivy creeper have fallen except one. Why doesn't the last leaf fall? So here I'll show you what is an ivy creeper. So here you can see in the picture. Okay, this is an ivy creeper, and here this is the leaf. So in the autumn, when the wind is blowing very fast and it is raining very heavily, at that time the leaf on this ivy creeper used to fall day by day, one by one. So here you study. Let us study what happens next. Sue and Johnsy, two young artists, shared a small flat. Now, this is a story of two girls who are an artist by profession. One name is Sue and another's name is Johnsy. Okay, please remember the names Sue and Johnsy. They were living together in a small flat. The flat was on the third story of an old house. Okay, the flat was on the third floor. Okay, of the old house. There was a house where was first ground floor, first floor, second floor, and third floor, and they were living on the third story of an old house. Johnsy fell very seriously ill in November. She had pneumonia. Now, because of this disease called pneumonia, she was seriously ill. That means she was very ill that she was about to die. Who? Johnsy. Johnsy and Sue, they both were roommates. They were living together in a small flat. While one of them, Johnsy, fell very sick, and in November she was about to die because of the pneumonia. She would lie in her bed without moving, just gazing out of the window. So for whole day she used to just gaze out of the window and think something negative. So she would lie in her bed all day. She would not do anything. She would not work anything. She used to just stare outside the window. Sue, her friend, became very worried. Obviously, one of your roommate gets seriously sick and they are not doing any work the whole day. They are just asleep. So you would also worry for your friend, correct? So here Sue is very much worried about Johnsy. She sent for the doctor. Although he came every day, there was no change in Johnsy's condition. So she sent for the doctor, although the doctor used to visit Johnsy every day because she was having pneumonia, and due to medical issues, the doctor used to visit her every day to check whether she's fine or not, whether her condition is improving or not. So he was visiting her, but there was no change in Johnsy's condition. So one day, the doctor took Sue aside and asked her, "Is anything worried? Is anything worrying Johnsy?" So there was no change in Johnson's condition, not because the doctor was not giving proper treatment to her, but because she had lost all hopes. One day the doctor took Sue aside and asked her, "Is anything worrying Johnsy?" So she told, "No," replied Sue. So he was worried that why the medications are not helping Johnsy to improve her health. So what is wrong with that? And Johnsy couldn't speak. Johnsy is not going to inform the doctor what is wrong with her. So doctor asks you that what is wrong? Is anything worrying Johnsy? Sue replied, "No." "But why do you ask?" The doctor said, "Johnsy, it seems, has made up her mind that she's not going to get well. If she doesn't want to live, medicines will not help her." So it is all in the mind, dear students. If the Johnsy thinks that yes, I can be well, then the medicines will definitely work on her, but she has made up her mind that she is not going to get well. Okay, she in the mind she has thought that I am going to die soon. Okay, and there is no need for these medications and all. Still she eats the medicine, but that medicines don't help her because she has no willpower in herself to get well. She doesn't want to live. Medicines will not help her. Sue tried her best to make Johnsy take an interest in things around her. She talked about clothes and fashions, but Johnsy did not respond. Johnsy continued to lie still on her bed. Sue brought her drawing board into Johnsy's room and started painting. To take Johnsy's mind off her illness, she whistled while working. So Johnsy tried her best to just divert her mind, to just find out that what is bothering her. So she tried her best to make Johnsy take interest on things around her, to look on the beauty of the day, to appreciate the environment around her, to appreciate all the things that is around her. She talked about clothes and fashions, but Johnsy did not respond. Johnsy continued to lie still on her bed. Sue brought her drawing board into Johnsy's room. That drawing board, they were artists, correct? So they used to draw on the board. So that drawing board was brought into Johnsy's room. And she started painting. Sue started painting. And to make Johnsy's mind off her illness, she also whistled while painting. Suddenly, Sue heard Johnsy whisper something. She quickly rushed to the bed and heard Johnsy counting backwards. She was looking out of the window and was saying 12. After some time, she whispered 11, then 10, then 9, 8, 7. Sue anxiously looked out of the window. She saw an old ivy creeper climbing halfway up the brick wall opposite their window. In the strong wind outside, the creeper was shedding its leaves. So, what happened, dear students? Sorry. What happened while she was whistling and making and diverting the mind of Johnsy? She found that Johnsy is whispering something. So, she quickly rushed to the bed and heard that Johnsy is counting backwards like 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, in that way. So, and while doing that, Johnsy was looking outside the window. So, Sue anxiously looked out of the window. She saw an old ivy creeper climbing halfway up the brick wall opposite their window. In the strong wind outside, the creeper was shedding its leaves. "What is it, dear?" Sue asked. "Six," whispered Johnsy. "They were falling faster now. They are falling faster now. 3 days ago, there were almost 100 leaves. There are only 5 left now." So Sue asked Johnsy that what is it? Why are you counting backward? So Johnsy replied that they are falling so faster. They means that little creepers. The leaf on the creeper is falling very fast. 3 days ago there were almost 100 leaves, and now there are only five left. It is autumn, said Sue, and the leaves will fall. When the last leaf falls, I will die, said Johnsy with finality. I have known this for the last 3 days. So now the Johnsy is saying that when the last leaf will fall, at that time I will die. She know this already in the her. She has made up her mind that she is going to die. She's also decided that at the fall of last week I will die. So she has no um, so she's already made up her mind that she's going to die, and so no medicines is going to work on her because she has lost all the willpower, all the hope to live. Oh, that's nonsense, replied Sue. What have old ivy leaves to do with your getting well? The doctor is confident that you will get better. Johnsy did not say anything. She went and brought her a bowl of soup. I don't want any soup, said Johnsy. I'm not hungry. Now there are only 4 leaves left. I want to see the last one fall before it gets dark. Then I'll sleep forever. So this negative talk, these negative thoughts were going on in the mind of Sue. Sorry, in the mind of Johnsy. And for that reason, for that negativity, she was not getting well. If she thought positively, in life, dear students, many times we face difficulties and we think that this is the end of our life. We are not going to overcome this problem. And so much of negativity, we feel so much of anxious and depressed. Okay, so that we think that now what, we have having nothing left in our life. Such kind of thoughts do come in our life, but we need to be positive in bad times or in good times. In both the times we need to stay positive. So if we stay positive, we'll find a solution. There is a solution for all the problems in the world. So kindly do not give up and do not mess up with the negative thoughts. Try to be positive in each and every situation of your life. So here, if Johnsy thought positively and she thought that yes, if I eat medicines on time, if I eat meals regularly, if I take whatever precautions to take in pneumonia, I will definitely be well. And if I'll be well, I'll do this thing first. I'll go there. I'll go to meet that person first. I'll be doing this. These kind of hopes, these kinds of thought thinking will definitely help you to move ahead and think positive, and will give you a willpower to live one more day to finish that work. So here she was not taking soup because she thought that I'm not hungry, I'm going to die, why to waste this all these things, I don't want to drink. So she had uh, no she had nothing, no options left, she had no hopes for her living. So that is why she had given up. She was not trying to get better. So now she's saying that now only 4 leaves are left, and I want to see the last one fall and then I'll go to sleep forever. Sue sat on Johnsey's bed, kissed her, and said, "You're not going to die. I can't draw the curtain, for I need the light. I want to finish the painting and get some money for us. Please, my dear." So can you see that? Sue, this is Johnsey. This is Johnsey. She is ill. She just looks at the window and she says there only 5 leaves are there. One has already fallen. Now 4 leaves are left. So by this night, I'm just watching outside the window. So she begged Johnsey, "Promise not to look out of the window while I paint." So she said that I cannot draw the curtains. I need the light. So I want to finish the painting and get some money for us. So please, you don't look at the window what I am painting. So that is what I am begging you. Promise me you won't look out of the window while I paint. All right, said Johnsy. Finish your painting soon, for I want to see the last leaf fall. I'm tired of waiting. If once the last leaf falls down, I'm going to sleep, and then I won't wake up. I have to die, so let me go away peacefully like one of those poor tired leaves. Try to sleep, said Sue. I have to paint an old miner. I will call Behrman up to be my model. So now she says that I want to paint an old miner. Okay, so I want to call up Behrman. Now Behrman is a neighbor is their neighbor, and he is living on the first floor. Okay, he was an so Sue rushed down. Behrman lived on the ground floor. Okay, sorry. Behrman used to live on the ground floor. He was also a painter, and he was old, so she wanted to paint Behrman, a person like him. So she wanted some model to look and get inspired to do the painting. um, he was a 60-year-old painter. His lifelong dream was to paint a masterpiece, but that had remained a dream. Okay, he was a 60-year-old painter who Behrman, and he wanted his lifelong dream was he wanted to paint a painting that could be his masterpiece, that no one can copy that kind of piece, and that is the best among all the painting he has done till now. She told him how Sue poured out her worries to Bellman, that I'm so worried for my friend Johnsy, who has left all the hopes, and now she's thinking that when the last leaf on the ivy creeper will fall, I will die. Behrman, she told him how Johnsy was convinced that she would die when the last leaf fell. Is she stupid? Asked Behrman. How can she be so foolish? She's running a high temperature. How can she be so foolish? Complains you. She refuses to eat or drink, and that worries me a lot. Okay, what is worrying you a lot? That she's not listening to her, and she's not eating and drinking anything. So that won't help her to get cured. I will come with you, see Johnsy, Behrman said. Behrman agreed, was convinced that yes, I'll come along with you in your room, and I'll help you out to paint the last leaf. They tiptoed into the room. Tiptoed means they came silently. Johnsy was sleepy. Sue drew the curtains together and they went to the next room. She peeped out through the window. There was only one leaf on the creeper. It was raining heavily, and an icy cold wind was blowing. It seemed as though the leaf would fall any minute now. Behrman did not say a word. He went back to his room. Johnsy woke up next morning. In a feeble voice, she asked Sue to draw the curtains. Sue was nervous. She drew back the curtains very reluctantly. She just drew the curtains very reluctantly. Oh, Sue exclaimed as she looked at the vine creeper. Look, there is still one leaf on the creeper. It looks quite green and healthy. In spite of the storm and the fierce wind, it didn't fall. That last leaf is still there. I heard the wind last night, said Johnsy. I thought it would have fallen. It will surely fall today. Then I'll die. What is Johnsy saying now? Last night I heard that it was a very stormy night. This wind was blowing very fast. How did this leaf survived? After one day it will definitely fall, and I'll die afterwards. You won't die, said Sue energetically. You have to live for your friends. What would happen to me if you die? Johnsy smiled weakly and closed her eyes. After every hour or she would look out of the window and find the last leaf still there. It seemed to be clinging to the creeper. In the evening there was another storm, but the leaf did not fall. Johnsy lay for a long time looking at the leaf. Then she called out to Sue. So that is all. We will wind up the story today. We'll continue the rest of the story in our next video. So till that, keep thinking that what happened to the last leaf and how did that leaf survived so stormy wind, so heavy rainfall. We'll study that in our next video, what happens to the last leaf and what happens to the Johnsy. Okay, it's an interesting story. To understand it, you can read out. We'll discuss the story in our next class.